All right. I think we're on. Let me know if you guys can hear me or not. All right. Well, hopefully you guys can hear me. In the meantime, I can just place some bets. All right. All right. Looks like we've got a. Oh yeah, people can hear. That's good. Let me know what the quality's like, guys. And if it's shit, then maybe I can close a few other things down. But for now, we can get started. So I thought today I could do do a bit of betting like I'm doing now, but then also at the same time go through some of my latest results. Oh, that's gone. Go through some of my latest results and show you guys a few of the change ups that I've made lately. So yeah, first things first is I have increased my bankroll quite a bit. I guess a lot of you might remember from back in the day my journey from 1K to 2K with Trademate. So it's a very, very small bankroll to start with, 1K. So I thought what I would do is make it a bit more worth my time, I guess. So I think I got to maybe, I built it up to, maybe like a 4K or so, 3K bankroll. But I guess there just wasn't enough. I wasn't, I just wanted to put a bit more money into it because obviously I know that it works. And I was just finding, I mean, I have a full-time job, so I do have a salary, so I might as well put a bit more juice behind it and put some bigger stakes on and have a bit more fun that way because I guess with the smaller balance, I was just putting on, it was a bit too much of a grind for me. It wasn't really worth my time. So in the last couple of weeks, I've put a lot bigger bankroll into it. So I think I've got something like 5,000 invested into it now. So I guess about 5,000 makes about sense, and then profit it's still only at 2,700 or so, and hopefully now that I've got staking a bit bigger, not only will I lose a bit more money here and there, but eventually I'll be profiting more. So hopefully we'll see some progress that way. So I guess for people who are just starting or using Trademate, just make sure you've got the right bankroll in place. You want to maximize your starting bankroll as much as possible because the higher your bankroll, you don't want to go too high, obviously, because the $1,000 it's pretty optimal. Once you start getting less than that, down to see, I've got a question here. I have flatlined between 2K to 1800 for over a week, placing 200 minimum per day. Can't make headway for some reason. I mean, 200 bets a day is pretty crazy, mate. But I just don't think analyzing your results after, weekly or daily it's not the way to go. What you want to do is you want to be. You've lost me for a few seconds. Hopefully it's back now. I think I've got quite an unstable connection. What I might do is turn off the old VPN. Hopefully that makes things a bit easier. I'm just struggling to see. Yeah. So should be a bit easier now to follow. But yeah, mate, it's just variance. I mean, SLM 3573. If you just send through how many bets you've placed, mate, so far, that would be good, and then we can get an idea of if you're just being really unlucky or if it's just variance. So send that through, mate, when you get the chance. But 200 bets a day, I mean, that's pretty crazy. I haven't heard someone doing that. You must be betting on some really ridiculous shit, mate. Yeah, you're obviously not using recommended leagues. So send that through, mate, if you're still there. Yeah, but what else can I go through? I mean, I can go through some of my presets. Might as well bet on this while it's here. I recently added Nordic Bet. They're pretty decent. It looks like they use the same mods as Beton. So they give a few value bets here and there. But still, I'd say your bread and butter, your best bookies out there, especially people from Norway. What am I betting on here? First quarter. Yeah, you want to be. You want to be using Coolbet, Unibet, or Leo Vegas. Who else is good? Bet Victor's really good. Very, very, very soft. And actually, later in the podcast, bloody hell, stream, I can show you guys some of the results we've actually just got overall. We ran a massive backlog of all our trades, and we've actually been able to see the ROI per individual bookmaker and which bookmakers are giving us the most trades and stuff like that. It's really interesting. So hang in for that. So you've done 8 weeks and you've done 200 bets minimum per day. I mean, I don't really understand how you're able to do that, mate. But anyway, 4,732, and you've been flat line between 2K and I mean, I don't even know what your EV is, mate. That's the hard part of it. Yeah, using Nordic Bet through a VPN. Let's just keep that on the down low. Activities, but that's what you have to do. It's all up to you. But yeah, I have been using one, obviously, being in Mexico and previously in Sweden. All my bookies are Norwegian based, so that was the only way I was going to get through that. But yeah, so what else can I show you guys? Oh yeah, I'm starting the accumulators preset, so, or as I like to call it, multi. So I've set up a preset here. Hedges from 1.2% up to 100. And what I do here is I just grab like the really low odds ranges that I don't want to put a single bet on, because I don't really like, personally, it's just my preference. Don't really like betting on anything under 145, 1.45. And at losing, it gives me the shit. So I'd rather just combine two of them together. So normally this happens on Saturdays or Sundays. Get two bets come through that are, around this range, and I just combine them together if they're with the same bookmaker, obviously, and place an accumulator. It's the only reason you should be doing accumulators in general is through adding two value bets together. If you're just picking two of your favorite teams or two things that you like, not based on odds, it's the stupidest thing you can do, because you just multiply the bookmaker's margin. But if you if you want to, I think the best way to do it is get a low on odds range and combine those two together, and that way your variance isn't going to be too crazy. So if you combine these two together, you should never really go over two in odds, so your variance won't be affected too much, and yeah, you'll have a pretty big edge. My average odds are 2.4 or something like that. I can have a look. Average odds place 2.38 and true closing odds 2.34. So it's funny that just a little discrepancy, but it's the power of closing EV. Turns into decent sums of money. So yeah, overall you can see I'm underperforming on my EV, closing EV just. So hopefully, yeah, I'm basically on par, you could say. So hopefully in the near future, I can get a nice little surge. I had a good surge up here a couple of weeks ago, but that dropped down nicely. And I guess the good thing about accumulators too is that it makes you look like a shit punter, and that's what we want to look like at the end of the day. The only problem is that if they're tracking that the two legs that you got on were value and that you beat the closing line, then they're probably going to be like, oh, maybe this guy is really sharp. So, but I think in general, accumulators equals dumb. So yeah, more the better. You can, I mean, it's a good strategy if you can handle the variance, because if you're placing 8 in odds accumulators over and over, it's just going to result in you losing more than often than you like. So if you can handle it though, have a crack. I mean, if they can detect that you're using a VPN, which I guess would be very hard, then they could, I don't know, they could probably freeze your funds maybe. So I probably shouldn't be saying this on a live stream, but hopefully not too many people jump on it and view this, and we can kind of stay under the radar, but it should be right. How do you register accumulators? Yeah, that's the problem. You can't really register them. So what I do, how about I just run through an example of how I register the accumulators. In the meantime, see if I can get on this. So with esports, I'm not staking to the max because one, they probably won't let me. Let's just do that. And there you go. Wouldn't even let me get my extra $50 on, 50 kroners. The only reason I stake less on esports is because it's slightly less efficient for one, and two, it's just a very niche, not very niche, but it's a pretty niche betting market. So, yeah, if I keep staking big amounts on that, then it's going to look like start winning lots of money. It's not going to look good. Probably get me limited. But yeah, sorry, back to tracking accumulators. So what I do is, let's just say I like this one. I put, let's just say I put an accumulator with Columbia. So let's just go 500 knock on that. And let's just say I also accumulate, let's just say I put in an accumulator with Evil Geniuses. So I did 1,000 knock on the accumulator. So 500 on each, as you can see here. And what I do is if it loses, if the accumulator loses, one of the legs loses, then great. This is going to, let's just say both legs lose. Happy days, I don't have to do a thing because that's going to be a loss. A loss 500, 500 equals 1,000. If one leg loses, but this one won, then I just go into here. Go away. Oh. Let's go into here and say lost. So then I also go into this one too, which was probably already settled as lost, and I've lost both of them, if you know what I mean. So that's how you track the loser. But if they win, oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Open, and I can delete this. If they win, then you just have to, let's just say, put 1,000 down, and it was for odds of, once you put them together, 3 in odds, then I would just go in and adjust the stake so that each one equals the same amount. So if I was betting 1,000 to win 3 in odds, then I would be winning 2,000. So then I would just be fiddling around with this until I get the number that equals both sides, that equals the total that I won from the accumulator. So it is a bit of fiddling around. Maybe it's best to track them somewhere else, but I still think you've got closing EV registered here too. So I want to keep all my closing EV in one place. So yeah, that's just the way that I do it. I hope that makes sense. I'll delete that. All right. More questions. Are you doing esports trades? Yes, I'm doing them. Yeah, so with the efficiency, because they're less efficient, mate, what I do is I put up the minimum stake, minimum edge, sorry. So a minimum edge for esports is 3. So just to kind of factor out that it's an efficient market. So, I mean, if I get an edge of 3 or above, I think it's pretty safe to say that you've made a value bet, or at least a lot safer to say. How many bets are you doing a week? I'm pretty slack, so I mean, I haven't done any in the last week, literally none, but that's because I've been in a tropical hurricane in Mexico. But if I'm a good week for me at the moment, 100, 150. But I mean, when I was doing my 1K to 2K and I was committed, at the computer on recommended leagues, betting on everything that came through, basically I was getting like 250 a week, and that's just recommended leagues. So yeah, during peak season, I think you can easily get 200 a week. Matthew Parker, currently don't have pro as I have soft bookies to hit. Can you show the specific sharp settings? Yeah, mate. But I don't think you should really play around with them at all unless you were using wanting to bet against Pinnacle. So this is how it works, the pro settings. So maybe I should just set up a new preset. So let's just say this is what I wanted, blah, blah, blah. I could then go into sharp settings and go on odds type, European handicap. On this odds type, I want to use Betfair as my as my benchmark. And if Betfair don't have odds on it, then I'll use Matchbook as my benchmark, my second fullback benchmark, and then minimum liquidity. So yeah, maybe that's just talking about like what liquidity do I need at a minimum to be able to want to bet on that. So if I'm saying, all right, I'm not going to bet on anything unless it's at least 20 in liquidity, then yeah, and I guess you can just add more and more rules for different odds types. So yeah, Matthew, that's how it works, mate. I don't know if you had any other, how frequent are you seeing stuff at Betfair Exchange? Yeah, I don't bet on Betfair Exchange, mate. So, but yeah, quite frequent, I'm pretty sure. I think in the future we can Neil's using Betfair. Ryan Bruno, who we've had on the podcast, is trading with Betfair too. So I think in the future we'll be able to get some more presets and settings for you guys to use for Betfair and the exchanges. Yeah, I mean, I can handle the variance though. I don't mind. Helly, bruh. Brian, how long would you last on soft bookies? 250. Oh, mate, 15K bankroll. It's a bit too big because you're not going to be able to get the stakes down with the soft bookies after a couple of bets. Once they see you placing hundreds of dollars and beating the closing line, it's just yeah. You're just a easy way to be flagged up. So, I mean, depending on how many bookies you've got, mate, maybe you'd only last a month or so with that bankroll. I don't know. I would just I wouldn't start with that big. I'd say max 10K. You're just going to be in a shit fight, mate. Trying to not be limited. While you're all there, feel free to give this stream a like, guys. Always helps. Get the old YouTube channel out there. Bit of promotion. What else can I go through? My presets. I mean, I think this is one of the cool things I can show you. So rugby, I follow rugby quite a lot. Obviously, I'd probably say out of all the sports that you can bet on, it's the one I'm most knowledgeable about, at least, or the one I follow the closest. So what I've done here is, instead of just full on cold trading it like I would anything else and betting on deviations, like, you know, with your minimum edges and all that kind of stuff, is that I've opened it up a bit because I do have a bit of knowledge on rugby. So what I thought I would do, I think the thing with rugby is it's there's only like one rugby league that I follow. So any bets that come through on the NRL, what I like to do is, even if it's a small edge, I just like to see what the markets are doing. So even if like the edge is like 0.01 and it's on something that I like, something where I think the odds are pretty wrong, because I think it's a pretty inefficient market, then I've just set up a preset here where I can kind of track any edge from 0 to 100 a large time before game time, so 2 days, 48 hours, show all leagues. And then if I don't bet on, I basically bet on like maybe 25% of the things that come through the preset. But I just like to see what the where the value is at the moment on the NRL, and I think you can incorporate that into your betting if you want. If you think you know a decent bit about a certain league, wouldn't bother if you think you know a lot about EPL or NFL or that kind of stuff, because you're best off just following the market. But if there's a smaller league like the NRL, like how could you set up a preset? Maybe like esports, you probably could too. Tennis. If you think you know a lot about tennis, you could just set up a preset for unrecommended leagues. A minor tournament, maybe, where you think you know your stuff. So I think it's just another way you can utilize trade, mate. But yeah, all my presets are pretty standard. The new article that I wrote about recommended presets is basically what I've got for all of these. Sorry, just reading some questions. Yeah, I mean, if you've got tons of accounts, maybe it's better to start with a bigger bank. Like, it's okay to start with a bigger bankroll. And if you've got some good mates that want to lend you their account, even better. I mean, the more time you can spend on the soft bookies, the better, because if you're looking to just make a side income, the more time you can spend on the soft bookies, the better, because they are very, very soft and easy to take advantage of. Sold your house. Congratulations. Good idea. Or should I? Yeah, no, mate. Don't. And the thing is, don't deposit 5K into the bookie. That's the silliest thing you could do. Like, imagine, pretend you're a gambler. You're shit at punting, and you are going in for your weekend bet on your favorite team, bet on a team you think is going to win. How much would you deposit into your account? You wouldn't be depositing 5K into your bookmaker account. So in that instance, if you're depositing into a brand new account, I just wouldn't put more than 300 euros in, because I feel like anything above that, you're just saying, look, I'm here to play. Especially if you start winning. I wouldn't be surprised if bookies have a flag up that every time someone new deposits like 500 euros in, every time that they get a flag for it. So I would spread it across as many as possible. I mean, we say 4 or 5 soft bookies you should be using at a time, but more the better. Like, if you can spread 15K across 10 bookies, not only are you going to get more value betting opportunities, but you're not going to be hammering one bookie. If you're hammering one bookie with 25, 30 bets a day, whatever, like, they're going to know you're up to something, because not your standard punter doesn't put 25, 30 bets on a day at one bookie. So spread it as much as possible. All right, sorry, Beach Games TV. I don't know. Are you using? So you are using Trademate. Oh, okay, cool. Your strike percentage is high, but my stake management is terrible. Mate, just follow the Kelly criterion, and you'll be right in the long run. You probably if you've only just subbed, I assume you've only just really started. So let variance play out. And your bankroll management, if you follow the recommended staking that we send through, then you'll be all right. I'd use 30% Kelly, and don't. I see this all the time when I go into people's accounts on Trademate. If we recommend to bet 9 euros or 8 euros or 23 euros, round it up or down. Don't bet in fire. If you're a Norwegian or a Swede, and you're betting kronas, then I'd round to the nearest 50. So 50 sec, 100 knock, 150 knock, etc. And if you are betting euros or pounds, go to 5s or 10s. Don't. Just think about it from their perspective. Once again, if you're betting, weird, uneven sums of money, then it's just such an easy way to get yourself noticed. What advice would you give German customers? Yeah, mate, give us a message in customer support. We have an automated message for that, so I can send that through and let you know the best bookmakers to avoid that tax. Okay, yeah. So Matthew, newest, most interesting development. I'm bloody excited for this. Is we are going to incorporate horse racing into the software, which I think for Australians mostly could be huge, because they just released, I don't know when it was, I think it was maybe July or June, they just released new betting laws for limits. in Australia. So you can win up to 2,000 Australian dollars and on a winning bet, like if you're betting for the horse to win, and you can win up to $1,000 on the place. So, I mean, if you're a big player, you've got some, decent bankroll, and you're able to bet to win up to $2,000, then like if you, I mean, I don't know what the ROI is going to be like, but I'm really looking forward to seeing that from Australia, to see how much money you can make from that on a weekend or whatever. Being able to win that amount of money and not being limited on the sports books is just huge. So yeah, I can't wait to get into that. But that's just for horse racing in Australia. Yeah, so UK and Ireland. I think it'll be included. I think we get odds for it. We'll get odds for it. But we're not going to. But yeah, you're not going to be able to sign up with an Australian sports book, so you won't be able to get the money down. So, but hopefully there'll be some decent edges there. Hopefully. Brian's worth 15K bankroll on Asians, 25. 20. Oh, mate, it's so hard to tell. Just use the ROI of 2.5%, and that's the best I can give you, Brian. So 2.5%. Think about how much you can turn over, and do the calculation on that. But if I had to guess, if you run 2 EV, so if you are making 2.5%, fuck, with that bankroll, I just haven't dealt with anything like that before. Fuck, maybe like 3, 4, 5,000 dollars or whatever, thousand. I don't know. It's just so rough, mate. Give me a message on customer support. I think we have a formula that you can use. I can help you out there. How many bets can I expect to get through Betfair Exchange a week if I buy Pro? So I can't give you an exact figure, mate. I'm not too sure. If I had to guess, it depends if you're doing it 24/7. If you're following it all the time, you should be able to get, hundreds, 300 plus at least, if you're following it all the time. I don't know. I'm really taking a punny because I haven't used it yet. You'd be better off asking Neil on his next video or someone like that that's actually used it. When should Sport Market Betfair be added? Yeah, you can. I mean, you can use Sport Market, but then still bet with Betfair and all them. So we're not going to add Sport Market, but yeah, you can add Betfair as long as you're a Pro customer. You can use Betfair Exchange, but I'm assuming you're probably just a core customer. Can you show how you set up maximum bet? Yeah. Yeah, no. So for a bankroll of $1,000 I'd set up a max stake or max bet of 20. 20, is that right? Yeah, 2% of 1,000. So yeah, your max bet should be 1 to 2%, I'd say, of your overall bankroll. For me, since my bankroll is quite big now, I've just made it a max bet size of 100. Maybe I could up that if I wanted to. I'm trying to think what percent. I guess 1% of 7,500. So that's $75. Fuck, I'm so bad with maths. I can do some maths here. Oh, look at that. My math's not too bad anyway. So I guess my max stake is like 1%, a little bit over 1% of my bankroll. And I'm just using low Kelly bet just because I don't know, just wanted to a bit less risk. Don't need to take much risk myself. So, I mean, I could do 30%, but yeah, 25, 30, just take a little bit less risk. Doesn't really matter. Mate, we're still in the process of just working out everything with horse racing. So I still don't know. The developers are onto it, but I guess in time we'll find out what exactly we're going to use. But I think we'll use Betfair Exchange odds as the benchmark. What is going to be used as the sharp bookie? Oh yeah, I just answered that. Yeah, so yeah, Betfair Exchange is the sharpest. Thanks, Charlie. Helped me out with some maths. Love it. What's my biggest stake ever? Probably 1,000. I mean, sorry, 100. With Trademate, 100. But back in the day when I used to just be a stupid gambler, I've, bet a lot more than that. 300, 400, something like that. Is there a reason that you... No, we don't recommend a 1K starting bankroll. We say that's the minimum. We recommend a starting bankroll between 1,000 and 5,000. And if it was me, I would start with 5,000 or as close as you can to that. Yeah. Start with 5,000 if you can, or as close as that as you can. If you start with a going to show you guys. I mean, should I place some bets? I mean, why not? Just turn on the old fella again. I'll just place this and I can show you guys those stats. Oh, it's gone. Third quarter. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Yeah. So this is max stake. There you go, guys. I'll give you a bit of max action. Will they limit me? Of course they will. But Leo Vegas uses the same odds as Unibet, and they provide a lot of value bets, guys. So I'd definitely be getting on with them if you can. I should probably have this in English. So rugby again, maybe not the most efficient market, so ran down for that one. All right, we'll turn this off. Let's just finish up with this. So this is very cool. So we ran like a bit of a Hope you guys can all see that. Bit of a backlog. So these are the most, so these are filtered from most trades to least trades that have ever come through or placed by our customers. So you can see Unibet, lots of trades, also Bet365, Coolbet Marathon, see the turnover, but most importantly, the ROI. So all I can say is I'm very much looking forward to having a crack at sportsbet.com.au when I get back to Australia, because they are, I mean, that's pretty incredible. 95,000 bets for a 6.5% ROI. I mean, just ridiculous. Like, crazy. William Hill, 4% ROI over 63,000 bets. I mean, it's 6.5% ROI. Tell you what, you'd be hoping you're betting from Australia, because that is a very, 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 very soft bookmaker. So I'll leave that up for you guys to look through. Ebook said if you start with 1K recommended bet size is 1 to 2%. Yeah, correct. Why is this the case? Ebook doesn't really. Oh, why should your max bet be 1 to 2%? I guess it's just sustainability, mate. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be like just betting huge sums of money on things where betting's so random, so you don't want to be risking everything on one bet. So that's why it should only be 1 to 2%. I hope that answers your question. Yeah. With 5,000, your average, no, it's not your average bet, it's your max bet. So with $5,000, your average bet is based on the edge and the odds. That's how Kelly's worked out. But max bet is 1 to 2%. Yeah. But if you guys got any more questions, send them through now, because I wouldn't mind finishing up for the week. It wouldn't. No, your bet sizing increases the bigger your bankroll. I don't know if the ebooks, if the ebooks say the opposite, then that's not right. Oh, right, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Just because, I mean, we're just talking about bigger amounts of money, aren't we? So if you're if you got $1,000 bankroll, max bet 2%, $20, you want that, like you want that $1,000 to grow as quickly as possible. So I guess that's why you max bet it. Whereas if you're got a very, very big bankroll, like you just don't need to max bet the shit out of stuff. You just don't want it to go out of control. So yeah, I guess that's why. And yeah, that's another good reason, mate. Yeah, you just you want to have a max bet so you don't get banned too. Where is the best resource for Kelly? I mean, the software calculates it all. So, what do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean by resource. If you just want to shoot that through. Yeah, I guess so, Charlie. I mean, I guess it's just the difference between max bet is $20 compared to if your bankroll was 20,000, then you'd be max betting. Oh shit. My math is terrible. Would it then be 400? No, it'd be more than that. 2% of 20,000 is Someone do the maths for me. Yeah, 400. I guess it's just a big, I don't know. It's up to you, mate. If you want to do 2%, it's not too crazy. But it's just about, managing swings. So there you go. You can see my flat ROI here. So if I've been flat staking the whole time, I'd be at 2.1%. But I'm at 2.4%. So that's the way I track whether my staking strategy is working. And you guys can do the same. But I guess we've just done a lot of testing, and over a large sample size, we found that Kelly's the best way to do it, not flat staking. What do you mean by that, Michael? Do you get further in debt with keeping track of your stats? Do you want to just go into a bit more depth with that? Yeah, it's ROI per trade. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, you'll have to subscribe then, Charlie, and then you would have to get the analytics package too. That would, if you complete the trades challenge. So if you get more than 100 trades and sub in your first week, then you can get it for free. But if you sub and do more than 500 trades in a month, then you get it. So yeah, or you have to pay £80 or €80 for the month to use it. I'm not sure what your question is, Michael, but you shouldn't. The only stat you should be checking is your closing EV. If you're going in and checking every day, your profits, it's just not worth it because it's such a small small sample size every day. So you should only be checking your results every month, I would say, and have a look back, see how it's going. But I mean, the only thing you should be worried about, if you were going to check something every day, should be that your closing EV is going upwards. If it's not, then you're probably doing something wrong with your presets. But if you follow our recommended presets, I can guarantee that your closing EV will not go down over time. It will continue to rise. Okay, I placed 61 bets. Nice work, Charlie. Yeah, if there's something wrong with the way they're calculating, just hit us up in customer support and we'll fix it for you, Charlie. But yeah, I think that'll do me, guys. If you could, just give the channel a like, or give the video a like. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get a notification every time we do a live stream or post a new video. But yeah, I think I'll call it a day. I'll answer these last two questions. No. You're not on any restriction at all, Charlie, in your trial. Yeah, you're not on any restriction at all. If you're having issues now, they'll continue unless we fix it. Donnie, I play poker. Good stuff, Donnie. Get on board, mate. MMA coming, Alex. Yeah, I guess you got Gaethje Nurmagomedov coming up. So we'll get Ryan Bruno on to do a little preview of that main event. For you guys, that'll be fun. Looking forward to it. Gaethje, I bet Gaethje last night at 3.5 or something. I think that's way too big. So I've already started putting a bit of money on Gaethje. We'll see how we go. But yeah, guys, cheers for joining. Give the stream a like, please, and catch you next time. If I can end the stream somewhere. Oh, it's here. Jeez. See you guys.